So good. I just can't. Just going over with a power harrow, and it'll look pretty good up. There was an issue with the tractor. Couldn't get the linkage to lift up. That was a bit of an issue. So we just played around with it. Good afternoon, everybody. Didn't realise the sun was going to be pointing that direction. We are working the spud paddock. When I say we, Brody is. I set him up though. It's all good. It is coming up magic, as you will see by the drone footage now. So the spuds in the end didn't do quite as well as I'd hoped. I was hoping for 70. Looks like they did about 65. But it was amazing digging, which if you haven't already seen, that was the episode a couple of goes ago. So they've done okay. Plan is here, we want to work this. The last few years, again, we've raked it up and we've burnt the stubble, the old spud tops. This stuff here, but because we've got the new discs, case in point, because we've got those new discs, we're going to try using that, and it is working beautifully. And because these tops are a little bit on the dry side, they're sort of a bit crunchy, so the discs are able to sort of smash them up a little bit. So we're going to now work this one way, trying to level it up a little bit so it's not so rough. After post digging, it can be a bit, the molds are sort of still there, roughly where they were. So we'll work this one way, and then we'll work it on a bit of an angle. And what we're thinking is that we'll bring the ripper in and just try and get a bit of loosen it up underneath here, so reduce our compaction, because obviously when we're digging spuds, it's all a lot of heavy equipment. The tractor and the digger usually aren't the bad things, it's usually the trucks, because they're on much narrower wheels and they're carrying a lot more of a load. So because a spud load with a truck would probably be 25, probably 35 tonne, 40 tonne. There's a fair bit of weight there, whereas the tractor and the digger, let's say 10, 20 tonne, but they're on a lot wider tyres. But I'm just so happy with these discs. Like, look at this. Just so good. I just can't. I was so nervous purchasing those because yeah, it's a fair bit of money for a ground implement, for us anyway, what we're doing. But I'm just, yeah, every time we use it, just gives me butterflies with how happy it makes me. Okay, so once we disc, and then we'll rip it in one direction, and then we might just rip it again, depending on how it fractures and we reduce the compaction underneath. So we'll rip it, then we'll probably put like a crop in for over winter, because at the end of the day, this was actually a failed poppy crop that went into the spuds. It was so good, so I'm hoping that the spuds have sort of compacted it down. It was very light and fluffy when it went in, probably too light and fluffy. So I'm hoping that I can put a forage crop in, be it probably oats, because that's the easy one. It'll probably take 2-3 months before that'll be fit to graze, and then we could run the calves over it, spray it off, and then put it in with poppies in that September-October period. Now the other option that we could do is we could just rip it and then just leave it altogether, essentially leaving it fallow. I don't really want to do that. I find that would be more value in putting the oats in and actually having somewhere to graze, because in that August period is when we're really short of tucker. It'll just have to be carefully grazed so we're not bogging it. Yeah, so that's the plan of attack, and that's what we're up to. Right, I've just told Brody what a great job he's doing. It's all on him. He might, this is where, so this point here is actually where we did a bit of a trial just to see what sort of job it's going to do. So that never hurts to do that in a paddock, just to do a couple of directions and then see what you're going to actually end up with, instead of doing the whole paddock and then doing the second pass and realizing, that's no good. We worked out from the get-go we could just do a few little 20-meter strips one way then the other, and then we knew, yes, it's going to be perfect. It'll do a really good job. So this is that area that we tried it, and as you can see, there's even less of these spud tops. They've either been disced up or and when I mean disced up, they've been incorporated into the ground even further, and potentially even chopped up even more. You can see over the distance there that they haven't been quite as well worked in, like this piece here. But that's okay, we'll get it on the second pass. My biggest fear is that we don't sort of smash it up enough or incorporate it enough. We'll be smashing it up so that when we come in with the rippers, that it doesn't drag on that. That's the biggest issue that you can come across when dealing with a bit of stubble, is those sort of, just tine implements in general. They'll sort of start grabbing them and bringing them all the end of the row or blocking things up. So that's what we don't want. That's why I thought we'd disc first. And I think in this case, it's worked beautifully. Cool. Thanks, guys. All right, it's later in the day. Brody's been working like an absolute champion, and he is now ripping the paddock. Just thought we'd bring the spade out and have a look to see if we've done a good enough job. If you look here, see those bigger clumps in spots? I bet they're from the trucks. This is where the trucks were turning around here, and the rest of it looks pretty schmick. She's been doing some nice straight lines. Have a look at that. Yeah. Still a bit hard in places. Well, that's better. Yeah, we're just in between sometimes. It won't quite get what we want. But that's okay. It's okay. We'll definitely do another pass. We'll do it on an angle. So we'll do it like that. So that's what it looks like after it's been dissed a couple of times. Looks so good. And that's obviously the rips. So by the time we've ripped it again, it'll look similar to that still. We'll end up just going over with a power harrow, and it'll look pretty good after that. Oh, it's the afternoon and we are back at this spud paddock and we're drilling it. Now we have finished. We ripped it a few days ago on a bit of an angle, and now we're just working it up and down along the fence line here. Again, 75 kilos of oats, conveniently 3 bags. Fits in the hopper just nicely. And yeah, as you can see, it's coming up pretty good. It's still fairly soft. I had Dad and Jordan around before. Dad was going pretty crook about how soft it was. Reckons we probably should have rolled it. He's probably right, but anyway, I'm not relying on this. This is just a bit of a roll of the dice. See if it works. If it doesn't, it's not the end of the world, because these will go in with poppies in a few months. So more or less just trying to get a bit of cover for winter. If we get a grazing, just a bonus. Oh, I should also mention, Jordan and Dad came around because there was an issue with the tractor. Couldn't get the linkage to lift up. So that was a bit of an issue. So we just played around with a bit of a, Jordan played around with it and found out there was a connection on top of the solenoid that was stopping it from activating. Thanks, Jordan. Thank you. So that way we can keep the wheels rolling. Alright, we've only got about a hectare to go. We're quickly running out of light. It's that time of year. I think that'll do for this video about getting the spud ground back into something else, ready for the next crop. Just really hope it rains, because man, it's dusty. See you guys. Thanks. Bye.